Chapter 44, Sniff. There is a familiar coconut smell. Chloe's mom is the manager of the Bath & Body Works at the mall, and she always smells fantastic, tropical. Her car does too. Allie, Mrs. Alvarez looks at me in her rearview mirror. So glad to see you again. Thanks, I say, you too. This small exchange is so loaded with hidden tones. Is she really glad to see me? Has she been mad at me this whole time right along with Chloe? And now it's all just over? A girl can hope. As I fasten my seatbelt, I sniff the seat. Hopefully they don't notice, but that's how much I love the smell of Mrs. Alvarez's and her car. When she reaches a stoplight, Mrs. Alvarez asks, "So, you girls have a book project together?" Chloe nods. "Yep." She doesn't say it with a lot of excitement, but then again, she could just be hungry. I am. "Allie, your mom tells me you're hoping to make it onto the Pentagon team, just like Chloe. She was named captain, you know." I nod, but it's awkward because Chloe and I have exchanged only a few words these past few days. My desire to become a member of the Pentagon was not included in these words. Maybe her mom asking this question gives me the perfect opportunity, a start at least. "I've been studying hard. I hope to make the team. Chloe probably doesn't have to study that much." I give her a friendly punch on the arm. She rolls her eyes. "Yeah, I wish. Mom has me doing double homework." Chloe worked very hard for that honor. I'm anxious to hear who will be joining her. Mrs. Alvarez shoots Chloe a proud smile, but Chloe looks out the window like the whole thing is embarrassing her. We turn into their street. "We're home," Chloe announces. After we get into her house and pet her dog Daisy, we make sandwiches and head to her room. But just before we leave the kitchen, I notice a bunch of shopping bags full of stuff in the corner. Streamers, napkins, balloons, the decorations for Chloe's birthday party. A party I'm not invited to attend. "Let me know if you get thirsty, and the bathroom's down the hall on the right." Chloe sounds like a tour guide. Then she flicks her eyes at me. "But you probably remember where everything is, right?" I give a pretend smile. "Sure, I remember." But when I look around her room, the feelings I'm trying to hide only worsen. Seeing her posters and trophies and purple comforter remind me of how things used to be and what I've missed out on this past year. Laughing, sharing secrets, playing games. That's what I miss the most. The bizarre games we used to play. Our favorite was Warrior Princess. It involved lots of pretend sword fighting and running and rescuing the wimpy prince because he was always landing himself in trouble. A hockey stick played the role of wimpy prince because no boys would play along. I was always in charge of the voiceover for the dramatic show, lamely titled, "The Wonderful World of a Warrior Princess." I like alliteration, so the fact that princess starts with P and not W irked me, but it was the best we could come up with. To make my announcing duties more authentic, I made my own microphone out of cardboard and some black tape that Francis found for me. There was also some glitter for a fancy vibe. Our games of Warrior Princess involved tons of drama and swishing sounds, or sound effects, and me saying things like, "Will our warrior princess ever find her true love and defeat the evil Emperor Dave?" And, "Will Emperor Dave finally get that haircut he needs? Stay tuned for next week's episode." Emperor Dave always needed to be saved. He was also pretty boring as far as emperors go. What I loved most was that Chloe wasn't embarrassed to play this ridiculous game. In fact, she'd make most of the sound effects, loud and proud no matter who saw us. Chloe Alvarez is the real deal. Nothing fake about her. Or at least there wasn't then. "Let's get started on the project," Chloe says. "I need to catch up on the reading. Do you want to start sketching out ideas for the 3D scene?" Just point me in the direction of paper and markers and I'm in business. Chloe motions to her desk drawer, then curls up on her bed with the book, silently. This is not exactly what I thought this fabulous experience was going to be like. I mean, I knew she needed to read, but I figured she would do that some other time, and we would work side by side. Laughing, joking, mending our friendship. Nope, it's just me versus a bunch of markers that turned out to be too dry to use. I can't draw anything with these. I scan the room, looking for some other writing utensil, and that's when my eyes land on the top of her bookshelf. Underneath some papers, cardboard, black tape, glitter, the Warrior Princess microphone. She still has it. Back then. To be honest, I freak out a little. Oh my gosh, maybe she misses me. Maybe she was hoping I'd see it. Ellie, calm down. Dropping my dry blue marker, I pop up and rush over to the bookshelf. I grab the microphone and hold it up. You still have it. I go into my narrator voice. On today's episode of Warrior Princess, our princess has found herself clinging to a cliff high above a boiling cauldron of hot maple syrup, while Emperor Dave, freshly shaven, peers over the cliff and yawns. Chloe's cheeks flush. I never got around to throwing that thing out. Throw it out? My voice catches. I can't believe this precious piece of handmade equipment that Frances helped me create is something that could soon end up in a landfill. That was a long time ago. She turns away from me and gets to reading again. Then she adds in a low voice, we were so dumb back then. My stomach drops, defeated. I just agree. Yeah, dumb. How could I be stupid enough to think that we would actually pick up our last game like no time had passed? I hope the moment that when I apologize will be better than this. Natural and magical and just right. But we aren't getting anywhere. We aren't even working together. I don't want her to think of us back then. I want now, a new now. So I take a deep breath. About the thing that happened last year, I gently sit down next to her on the bed. The thing with the trading card when you got in trouble. Chloe shrugs and stays facing the wall. Forget it. We aren't going to do this eye to eye, that's clear to me. Maybe it's better this way. I fidget with my sleeve. But I can't forget it. Being here in your house, in your room, for the first time in almost a year, it's so hard. Not being invited to your birthday party is even harder. I take another deep breath and close my eyes. I shouldn't have told on you. Chloe, I'm sorry. I get why you're mad at me. She sits up and wraps her arms around her knees. I'm not mad, Her voice trails off. What? Chloe pauses. I want to trust you, Ellie, but I can't, not entirely. She turns to the wall again, curls up, and continues reading in silence. Ouch. I slide back down to the floor and continue working on the sketches, dry markers and all. Except I don't sketch anything for the project. I draw a picture of one very sad owl. Underneath I write, me. Confession, Mom's not the only one ruining my life. I am too. Meaning. Graham is very particular about definitions. He loves to talk about what words really mean. He's the one who taught me to pay more attention to the words people use when they have a choice. For example, my dad works in a shed. Dad says he works in a studio. It has the same 4 walls, the same floor, the same rickety light fixture hanging from the ceiling, but to him, it's a studio, a place of creative possibilities. I'm trying to see things like he does. I'm really trying. The sun is setting and Dad hasn't come inside. He's busy gearing up for another craft fair, so we're not even watching basketball like usual tonight. He's probably getting hungry, so I scoop out some spaghetti from the plastic container onto a plate and knock it on the floor of his shed. Cross it out. Studio. Dinner! Come on in! The room is filled with scrap wood. Dust hangs in the air. Shavings cover the floor. I set his plate next to a half-carved lion and half-full cup of cold coffee. Dad is wearing a headlamp to get better light on some wood in his hand. He looks like a dentist or a surgeon, except with lots of denim and dirt. Have fun, I say, as I twirl around to leave. Wait, I need your help. Dad, I'm starving. Bring your food in here. I could use your opinion. I can't help but love that he wants my opinion, no matter what it is. Within moments, I'm back with my own scoop of spaghetti. So, this upcoming craft fair is a big deal for me, Dad explains. I'm told that the head of the Atlanta Zoo will be there, and she's looking for new local talent. They want to feature art from people in the area and put it in the gift shop. I slurp up a noodle. Really? How cool. Maybe I could even expand the studio into a massive one. I could have more wall space for hanging my tools and drawers for all my supplies, and I could install great lighting. I wouldn't have to use this camping headlamp. What do you think? I stare at my food. Sounds great, Dad. It would be nice to have a kitchen table that isn't covered with sawdust. Deep down, though, I love it when the signs of his wood carvings are all over the house. That smell of fresh-cut pine wood means Dad is nearby. Is that all you needed me for? No, hold on. He grabs a photo off his work table. What'd you think? A meerkat. Kids love meerkats, right? Ew, meerkats are creepy. They look like they're up to no good. Like they steal the food right off your plate or throw sticky food at you for no reason and then act all charming when they don't get their way. Meerkats are the Joel Webbers of the zoo world. I shake my head. How about an owl? Dad makes a face. I get it. You love owls, Allie, but I'm trying to figure out what lots of other kids would want to buy from a gift shop. Owls. They want to buy owls. I can't back that up with research or anything, but owls are so cute, Dad, and they have meaning. Dad looks up at the ceiling. I'm going with my gut, my instinct. And it's meerkats. He turns his headlamp back on and studies the photo. Maybe Chloe would still be my close friend if I hadn't been quite so instinctive. Blurting out Chloe's name when Mr. Vazario asked about the card was my first instinct. I didn't give it any thought, just reacted. Why didn't I take a moment to consider my choices? Hide it. Say I found it on the floor. Take the blame. Any of those would have ended with me still having Chloe as a friend. I leaned over Dad's shoulder. But what if your gut is wrong? What if you later decide that you should have taken a moment to think twice? You regret it, but now you can't take it back. He lifts his head. We're not actually talking about meerkats, are we? When I told on Chloe last year for breaking a major rule and bringing a trading card to school, I acted on instinct. Now she says I can't be trusted, even though I apologized. I don't know what to do. I lean my head on his shoulder, grateful that I have a dad whose shoulder I want to lean on. Dad turns off his headlamp, pulls up 2 stools. We sit. Bill Russell was one of the greatest basketball players in NBA history. Dad, I grin. I can't help it. Even though he uses basketball analogies far too much, I have to admit I kind of like hearing them. He points to the far wall, a poster. The most important measure of how good a game I played was how much better I'd made my teammates play. Bill Russell. I sigh, meaning? Stop worrying about everything you've done. If you've apologized and said everything you can to make it right, now you need to act. Focus on how to make things better for other people. Got it, I say like I know what he means. I don't know what he means. Hopefully I will get it someday, because I can't spend the rest of my life contacting NBA basketball players hoping for answers to life. There has to be an easier way.